Good day, everybody. This is Klassik King here once again. Now, this is the first video of the new year. As we all know, the new year really, for Mother Earth, doesn't start until the springtime. That's when she brings back new life into this world. That is the true new year. But we're gonna play along into this matrix. We're gonna play along with their games. Okay, to everybody who's celebrating the new year, Happy New Year. Hope everybody was safe. Make sure you write down your manifestations. Make sure you write down your goals, your inspirations, everything that you want to achieve in this year. Okay, so that way you can have a written testament to what you want to do this year, and you're able to reflect upon that as the year goes along. Okay, so in this lecture, what I'm going to discuss is negative habits and how we could work through them. Okay. All right, negative habits and how we can get through. All right. Excludes the no shirt. I'm warm, but that's the least of anything that anybody should be worrying about, right? Whatever I got on the shirt on, right? Just get the message. That's all that matters. All right, number one that we're gonna go upon. Okay, and this is almost the top. If you could get through this number one, everything else kind of gets a little bit easier from this. Okay, and that is negative thinking. Okay, most people in this world have negative thoughts. Okay, that's why God, he didn't have a plan for his people, for the people to be in poverty. But it's unfortunate that you have a certain group of people, the elites, that shoot certain frequencies, have certain programs running, so that way people continue these negative thoughts, these negative vibrations, okay? So here's the basis of negative thinking. Manifestation, what we want, can't come from a negative mindset, okay? What we want in life, you could want everything that you want, but if your everyday thought is I can't do it, I'm not gonna achieve it, then not. I can't quote the person who said this, but if you know, put it in the comments, because I got a lot of quotes. I don't know everybody who said them, but I got a lot of quotes in my head that just go in my head. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Okay? They teach us this in a lot of different ways as far as how to use your mind and how to manifest what you want in life, but a lot of people just think it's bogus. A lot of people just think it's just BS. No, it is a real concept. Our mind is a computer. Okay? Whatever you program up here is going to manifest. It's going to come into your reality. Not everything may come into reality, and that's when you just got to keep pushing out good energy. Just because it don't work out the way you planned, just know that if you keep going at it, everything's going to be good, okay? Einstein said we cannot solve problems with the same thinking we used when we created them, okay? But another thing, when it was favorite quotes, doing something repeatedly expecting the same result is insanity, okay? So we're gonna have to find new ways of doing something. If what we've been doing is not working, obviously it's not working. So let's brainstorm, let's sit down, and come up with new ideas so that way we can have things to work in our favor. Okay? Okay, doubt produces stress, even health problems, and low vibrational energy. I believe even the wrong egotistical mindset can produce low vibrations, thinking you're better than others, you know? I don't care if you have all the money in the world, you think you're better than somebody, really, you're still low vibration. A man can have nothing, you know what I mean, and still be a giving spirit, a nurturing spirit, and be more high vibration than that man who think he got the world just because he got the money, okay? Because money is also a frequency and a vibration that as a collective we give to. Money is only represented of the value that we give to it. So if everybody said money don't mean nothing, so be it. You can't give me $1 expecting something back from me. If we all agree that money don't mean nothing, you see what I'm saying? You're gonna have to show me something else. You're gonna have to what they call the trade and bartering system. All right. So money is also very low vibration, but because of the energy people give to money, it carries a form of high vibration to it, a frequency to it that can affect you, okay? Your life will operate on the level of your thinking, okay? Overcoming negative thinking starts with awareness. You can't change anything in your life if you're not aware to it, right? If you don't realize that I'm giving too much, if I'm giving too much energy to somebody, or I'm not giving enough energy to somebody, if you're not aware of these things, it's hard to make changes if you're not aware, okay? And what they say, knowing is half the battle, okay? If you know, you know. And knowing is just half of the battle, okay? And awareness starts with acceptance of the role and responsibility you have to your own life and happiness. So when you become aware and you are aware of the situation, or aware of your thinking pattern, or aware of what you're doing or not doing, you then have to accept that, okay? Claim responsibility and want to move forward in your life and producing more happiness to yourself. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. If you're aware, like, damn, I haven't been a good person. Damn, I haven't given the best of myself in this area of my life. Let that awareness then push you further to do better. When you know better, you do better, right? Okay, a lot of people know better but don't do better, and then they still complain about the circle that they're running in, right? Okay. So don't be afraid of the awareness. Take responsibility, take acceptance, and make the conscious decision to move forward and implement a structure in your life that's going to allow you to move forward, okay? Rewire your thinking by consciously choosing positive thoughts and recognizing the power, okay? Recognizing the power you have within to change. Okay, change I can't to I can. Change I won't to I will. Okay? Change your daily activities to consume more positive energy. One thing, for instance, take your eyes from the TV. Go outside, go for a walk. Just look at nature around you. Okay? Even if you just got to go out your way to go to the woods or a park, plant your feet in the ground. Let your body physically feel that grass and the magnetism of the earth, okay? You got to change your daily activities, okay? What you're doing, the monotony that you're doing every day, You got to change that up. You got to switch that up. Because obviously, if you're not happy, look at what you're doing throughout the day. Okay? Consume content that nurtures your spirit and nurtures your growth. Practice gratitude and spend more time in nature, which I just said. Thoughts are seeds in our mind's garden. Plant beautiful flowers. Okay? Just like you plant a seed into the ground, the entertainment that you take in, the philosophies, the propaganda that you take in, is all part of your garden. They are all seeds being planted in your garden. And if you keep watering those negative thoughts, those bad seeds, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get a whole bunch of what we call weeds. Side note, weeds, whew, weeds have a lot of powerful medicinal uses. We call them weeds in this realm, or this world, but a lot of things that grow naturally in your backyard, you can actually use for your body and for your health. But just to make the comparison, if you're allowing weeds to just grow and it's just overgrown with a whole bunch of bullshit and it's just wild. Nah, you gotta be very meticulous about how you nurture your garden. You know what I'm saying? Just like you will see somebody go out into the garden, take out the weeds. You see what I'm saying? Plant new soil, making sure the seeds have good soil so that way they could produce good fruit, okay? Good fruit, good leaves, good flowers, okay? It's the same thing with our mind. That every seed that is planted in our mind, we subconsciously are watering, okay? And we got to be very careful about those seeds that we plant and what seeds that we water, okay? Number 2, lack of gratitude, okay? Lack of gratitude. Showing appreciation and giving thanks to the universe and God is crucial in receiving blessings that align with your purpose. Okay, just giving thanks, just even if things don't go your way, just give thanks. Just give thanks that if you have a roof over your head, give thanks for that. If you got clothes on your back, give thanks for that. If you got a family that's standing behind you, give thanks for that. If you don't so happen to have those things, if you're homeless, still give thanks that you're here. Okay? That you're here. That you are still in this existence. Okay? That you are still in this existence. All right? No matter what, give appreciation. Show gratitude for your life. Okay? This is also where our positive thinking begins. Recognizing the good things in our life. Okay, even when things are going bad, you recognize everything else that's going good, because that's going to push forth all the good energy, all the good manifestations in your life. Okay? Without gratitude, your manifestation journey can be shadowed by negativity, stagnation, and dissatisfaction, okay? Which could lead us to like the dark night of our soul, okay? If you don't know about the dark night of your soul, go ahead and research that. I'm not going to talk about that right now. Not being satisfied with present, stuck in a cycle of wanting more with no appreciation. You can't want more and don't give appreciation for what you already have. Okay, because if not, you'll never be happy. You will never find happiness if you can't find appreciation in what you already have. Okay, I know people with millions, and for whatever reason, well, I know the reason, but they're not happy with their life. I know people who are poor, what we call poor in this realm, and they still show appreciation. They still have a smile on their face. They ain't about to feel like they're gonna kill themselves. You see what I'm saying? So always show appreciation, no matter what status, class, money, or chapter you are in your journey. Always show appreciation and gratitude. Growing gratification starts once again with the mindset. It starts with daily practice. People, look, like the teachers always say, life is a marathon, not a sprint. Everybody wanna do the 100-yard dash and get there. You see what I'm saying? That is not life. Take your time. It is a marathon. Enjoy the journey. Okay? And if you're wanting to change your mindset, just know that it's not going to happen overnight. So don't stop. Even if you're 3 months in, 6 months in, 7, 8, 9, 10 months in, right? And you've had a good streak of having a good mindset, and in that 11th month you have a bad month, do not stop. Do not stop. Okay? If you can't fly, you run. If you can't run, you walk. If you can't walk, you crawl. But no matter what, you keep on moving. You keep on moving. No matter what you gotta do, keep on moving. All right? Some of the best ways to do the whole daily practice is journaling, writing down how you feel, okay? Processing your emotions, okay? Don't let your emotions control you, but get a journal, start writing some stuff down about how you're feeling inside, how something made you feel, okay? Vocalizing yourself. 3 things you are grateful for every day. Okay, every day that you get up, your eyes awake, and the universe, God, rises you up from your slumber. Okay, your spirit body comes back into this physical body. All right, make sure you give 3 things that you are grateful for. Okay. For your whatever you're going through in life, just give thanks for what you're grateful for. 3 things every day. You say what you're grateful for, okay? And say what you're appreciative for. Even if it's the same thing, you don't necessarily have to find 3 different things every single day, because your life may not really change from this day to the next day. You see what I'm saying? It might change from month to month, and then you may have new things to be grateful for, okay? But always say at least 3 things that you're grateful for when you wake up, all right? Being present in each moment of your day, okay? Don't get stuck in the past. Don't get stuck in the future. Remember your past so that way you know what you want to be in the future. But don't get stuck thinking too far ahead that you can't live in the present, okay? Think about it like this. We are always constantly looking at our past, okay? Think about it. When you're in a boat, right? And it's just you in the boat. You're rowing, okay? What you see in front of you is the past. That's a whole nother philosophy I ain't gonna get on. But as we go in what we call time, what we see ahead of us is actually our past. Okay? And you're rowing down this river. You're seeing your past. What's behind you is your future. Okay? What's behind you is your future, and you're on this boat, you're rowing. You can't see the future. It's behind you, and you're in this boat. What's ahead of you, you're seeing the wake. Okay? You're seeing everything that you're passing, everything that you're experiencing, that is the past. Okay? That is the past. A lot of people think the future is ahead of them, their past is behind them, but it's actually a totally different way. Your past is really ahead of you. Your future is behind you. All right? Show appreciation to others who nurture you along your path. So all the teachers, all the people, counselors that help you along your path, make sure you show them appreciation. You see what I'm saying? So that way they can continue to help you, you know, and they can continue to see that you're a good spirit worthy of their time and their energy, okay? And that brings me to the third one. All right, living in the past, okay? Past experience can block or weigh you down from achieving your desired reality. Because all you're seeing is everything that's been done to you, all the BS, all the trauma, all the shortcomings, you know, that's all you're seeing, okay? Someone close to me said it best. It's like, I'll give you another analogy. It's like driving forward, okay? You're in the car. It's like driving forward while you're looking in the rear view. If you're looking at your past, you're looking at the rear view, you're not paying attention to what's in front of you. Well, and I explained that to you, but you get it. You're not experiencing what's right there. You're looking in the rear view, and you're just driving down the road. You're likely to crash and burn, right? Don't worry about that rear view. What do we use the rear view for? Okay, we look in the rear view so that way we can predict the future. Come on now. Think about that. You look in your rear view. If you see somebody speeding up and back you, right? You're looking in the rear view. Okay? You see somebody like, okay, man, he look like he going a little fast. Like, it look like he about to slow down. So let me get over. I'm gonna predict the future. He look like he about to do something. I'm gonna look in the past because I've already been through this. I've already been through this. Looking in that rear view, let me scoot over because he ain't about to screw up what I got going on. Let me get over. Zero. I mean, he don't slow down. And if you didn't move over, he would have hit you, right? Okay, so we use our rear view to help us move us along our path. But if you stay stuck on that rear view, your path is going to be blocked. You're not going to be able to go down your path efficiently and effectively if you're looking in that rear view. You see what I'm saying? So we got to practice focusing, moving forward, but using that rear view as a guide sometimes, just to remember what we've already been through. All right, and use those lessons to avoid new mistakes. All right. Don't allow your past to put doubt and fear in your heart or mind. All right, because when we allow our emotions to get to us, we don't think critically, okay? The psychological effects of holding on to the past can keep you in destructive cycles. Okay, remember that. You holding on to the past, you're being stuck in that destructive cycle, thinking that you're doing the same thing over and over again, it's going to give you a different result. Like Einstein said, no, do something different. Okay? And if that don't work out, do something else different. If that don't work out, do something different. But never be satisfied with going in these destructive cycles. Okay? This can greatly affect your manifestations. Okay? Going in those cycles. Breaking away from the past once again starts with awareness. Awareness. Right? Consciously pulling yourself away from your path into the present, looking forward toward your future. Meditation, deep breathing, and yoga are great practices in activating a better mindset. I know there's some religious people that talk about how yoga is of the devil, or like I don't even know. Stretching your body, making sure all your chakras are nice and loose and that you can connect with all of your body, that ain't of the devil. That ain't of the devil. I think maybe the way that some people may use it, I don't know. But yoga is definitely a good form of focusing your energy, form of meditation, form of stretching. Stretching is very vital to us. A lot of people don't take care of their bodies. Even if you don't work out, stretch every day. Stretch every day. Okay? And a lot of times, this world will make you feel like doing something good for you is bad. You see what I'm saying? Because they like to throw the Bible at you and all this and all that. I'm not going to get on that subject. But I think yoga is a good way of a good form of meditation. A lot of people need to practice more stretching. Okay, stretch out, especially your spine. Okay, your spine is very important to your chakras, very important to the energy that you carry in your body. Okay, your spine is very important, and the nerves that are intertwined with your spine leads to other parts of your body. That's where like body reflexology comes into play. You can hit a nerve just by touching it the right place on your hand or your foot or your leg. Okay, and it connects all the way back to your spine. All right. I said, gratitude always plays a role in living in the present. That goes back to what I was saying before as lack of gratitude. So having better gratitude in your present life, you can get out of living in your past, okay, or making your past who you are. We might have been through something, especially a lot of trauma. A lot of people have been through trauma. Most of us in this world been through trauma. A lot of people don't want to admit it. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. A lot of people want to act like, oh, I'm big and bad and I ain't been through nothing in life. Listen, this is why I never compare traumas, because everybody's been through something. Okay? And it's a lot of times that where people aren't happy in their present is because they're living in their past. They still have unresolved trauma. Okay? I don't care whether you're white, black, red, yellow, whatever. We all experience some type of trauma. Okay? So we gotta let that trauma go. Experience it. If we gotta go back in the past and give our past, our younger selves, the love that we need, and that's all comes back to meditation. When you meditate, you go back to your past self. You tell your past self, I love you. You're good. You don't know what you came through. You don't know what you came through, but you here now. All right, I know what you're going through may be hard. You may not think that you're going to get through this, but you tell your past. You tell your past self that you're going to make it. You're going to make it. So that way your present self can release that hurt. can release that trauma, all right? So that way you can just continue to fly. All right? It's like a butterfly with a ball and chain to it. It wants to fly, but that past is just hanging. You know what I mean? That past is keeping it down, keeping it down. Listen, come back down. You tell that ball and chain, I'll release you. Everything's gonna be good. And watch that ball and chain disappear, and you're gonna be able to fly off. All right. Our past may have shaped us, but it's our present that defines our future. All right, we define our future. And when we have went through some things that we didn't understand why we went through, but once you gain the knowledge, and once you come to know better, do better, and make sure your future is bright. Okay, your future is only as bright as you see it. All right, number 4. Lack of clarity. I know a lot of us, we have brain fog. We got so many distractions in our lives. It's hard to just silence some voices. You see what I'm saying? Silence the noise. That's silence all the energy that's coming to us. Okay. So, like a vehicle without a destination, so can your mind be driving aimlessly without a plan or a goal. So if you have no goals for your life, you don't have a plan for your life, it's just like hopping in your car and just driving. You don't know where you going. Just driving and just accepting life as it comes. Okay, that's lack of clarity, okay? The universe is like a GPS. Without having a clear vision on your destination, how can it lead you there? Okay? So that goes back to manifestations and putting out into the universe. Excuse me. Letting your words speak. You have power in the tongue. How can God know what you want for your life if you're not putting it out there? Okay? If you're not putting it out there, it's just like you got a GPS, but you're not giving it a direction. You know where you want to go, but you don't have a certain coordinate for it to lead you there. Okay? This is how confusion sets in, causing brain fog, unable to think clearly. This can lead to undesired consequences. We should focus on what we want for ourselves and not what others desire for us. I know a lot of people born into families, grow up into families, friends, or colleagues where you have this big pressure of being somebody who they envisioned you to be. All right, so check this out. I'm going to give you a personal story. Growing up, I was great in sports. I excelled athletically. I remember a lot of people always ask my 3 main sports. I did a lot of different sports, but my 3 main sports was football in the fall time, wrestling in the wintertime, and I did track in the springtime. So football, wrestling, track were my 3 main sports. And a lot of people had their own vision of me of being a star or, you know what I'm saying, a pro in one of those. But I'm going to be very honest. I never wanted that for myself. I enjoyed sports. I was good at them. I excelled in them. But I never saw myself as a pro footballer. Never saw myself as a pro wrestler or a track star, an Olympian. It sounds good. Don't get me wrong. It sounds good. But I'm going to be very honest. I was always the man that was just like, look, I ain't going to be that nigga on the field. I'm going to be the one writing his checks. My signature going to be on his check. That's the man that's really making moves. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, I ain't down to nobody that wants to be a pro athlete and, live that life. More power to you. If that's what you want for your life, cool. You go ahead and do that. You go ahead and do that. But I was always on the next level, or just bigger things than being on the field. I want to be the man in the box office writing his check. He playing for me. So that was just always, even as a youngster, like I always had that mentality, like, yeah, I like what I'm doing, but like I knew who was already getting the money. Yeah, like I'm not gonna break my back getting concussions, doing this and doing that. And the man, I think I'm getting money because I'm doing all this. Nah, the man who writing my check is getting the real money. That's who I always wanted to be. The nigga writing the check. Alright. So, and side note, we use that word, the N word, because we taking that back for ourselves. And I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about that and this and that. But listen, when it's all said and done, they gonna know who we are. They gonna know who we are, and that goes back to the Negas, the Negas serpent eye. And they took our own heritage and culture and made it a mockery. Okay, but we gonna use it as a term of endearment. All right. All right, brain fog, can we clearly be specific and define your goals? Set clear, achievable goals. Clarity breeds success. All right. Don't get caught up in trying to make unrealistic goals. Don't get me wrong. Dream big, but also a lot of people set a big goal, but don't have increments of goals, little goals to lead to that big goal. All they see is this big goal, and they're striving for this big goal. When they don't get it, they're brokenhearted. No, okay, have the big goal, and then work backwards. What's going to take for you to get to that big goal? Okay, one step at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. All right, we're gonna keep moving. 5. Ignoring intuition. Ooh, I know a lot of y'all can connect with this. You ever had that gut feeling? Excuse me. You ever have them red flags and you ignored it and it came out, oh man, I ignored my gut feeling, I ignored that red flag, and it was right. I wasn't wrong for feeling it at that time, and I ignored it, and now I had to go through that whole process of learning a lesson. Listen, sometimes it's safe to being sorry. All right, you may want what you really want, but if your intuition is telling you not to do it, listen, it's better to be safe than sorry. You're not missing out on anything. You're not losing out on anything. Just know that. If in your gut, it's telling you, really not feeling it, or something is just telling you no, follow that. Follow that. Okay? Just follow it. Just follow it. It's better to be safe than sorry. You may not know why you feel that energy or that spirit inside of you, but just follow it. Just follow it. Even if it's a situation that you really want and you really want to give that situation a chance. If something's telling you just to let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Meditate on it. Maybe see if you receive some other energy that is telling you or pushing you forward to a certain decision. You know? and then make a decision from there. But always do it from the heart. Always do it from the spirit. Okay? Because let's talk about relationships. You gotta have two people that are good people, genuinely good people. Okay? Genuinely good people. But they may not be good for each other. You dig? Just because I'm a good person, you're a good person, I'm positive, you're positive, and we're both high vibrational, that doesn't always mean that we're meant for each other. Okay? We both could be high vibration, but still in the end want two different things in life. Okay? That don't make us a bad person. They don't make us bad people. But their path is different than my path. And if those paths are having conflict with one another, then hey, never be afraid to just move on. Just move on, because you're only going to cause yourself more harm, more negative thinking, trying to force something that you know your spirit does not want. Okay? Whether, I wouldn't even say not want, your spirit may want it really, but the energy or your life path may not coincide with one another. Okay? That person might have not ever done anything to you or for you to like not trust them or to not have a relationship with them. But there's seasons, right? There's seasons. People come and go in your life all the time. People come and go in everyone's lives all the time. And we got to learn how to let people go when it's their season. Okay? I know it may hurt. I know it may hurt. But the faster you get over it, and the more that you continue to elevate and raise your vibration, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. Ignore intuition. This is your spiritual guidance, that voice within you that pushes you in a certain direction. This can be positive or negative, actually. Okay? Because if you're low vibrational, it's going to push you in a negative. But if you're higher, your positive side is going to push you more. Okay? Whether that's for the situation or not the situation. Okay? I feel like the negative vibration is going to more so push you towards the side that maybe not be for you. Okay? But your positive may go against maybe what you want. So meditate on that. Okay, if you're vibing high and if you come across a situation, and your spiritual guide is pushing you to a opposite outcome or opposite decision than what you may be feeling in your flesh, meditate on it. Okay, meditate on it. And I'm gonna say this: you may not be knowing that you're operating in your negative, you may not be knowing that you're operating in your negative frequency, okay? And you may feel like, oh, this is the one, whether it's a relationship, a job, a pursuit in life that you're doing, endeavor, whatever, a goal or whatever, okay? You may feel really strong about it. And that could still be a negative energy guiding you there. So still, no matter what you do before you make a decision, meditate. Meditate. Do breath work. Okay? If you got to do guided meditation, get out in nature and all that. And just take a time. Just take a time to meditate on it. You know, don't make a rash decision too early. Okay? The voice you feed the most will be the one you hear the loudest. If you're always constantly playing on your low vibrational energy, that voice will constantly always be leading you. But if you choose if you choose to operate in high vibration in your higher self, slowly but surely, you will start to hear that voice hearken upon you more than your low vibration. It's still gonna be a battle. There's gonna be some days where you want to fall back into that low vibration. And I'm not saying that's wrong. Hey, maybe sometimes we need that, like that feel good. Make sure it's not something too detrimental. Make sure it's not something that's gonna cause us our future, okay, or not to hit our goals. We may need that day just to like be lazy or whatever, fall on low vibrational frequency, but always remember to get back up, okay, and continue on in our high vibrations. All right. This can come from your subconscious mind or heart. All right. Our heart should be the biggest and the loudest voice that we hear. A lot of times we go with that, with our mind. The type of intuition I am referring to here is positive. Typically, good intuitions will push you to do right or towards the positive karmic path. All right, if you know about karmic law, you can research that. We realize when we ignore these hunches, undesired outcome arises. And that's like what I said earlier about not following your gut feeling. Is always, I knew it. You see what I'm saying? So it's better to be safe than sorry sometimes, Things such as meditation, sitting in silence, and nature can help nurture your intuition more. All right. With today's chaos and noise all around us, silence help us to hear our inner voice better. Okay? That's the whole thing about getting away from the norm. Okay, breaking away from your family, your friends, isolation. Isolate yourself. You see what I'm saying? Just isolate yourself so that way you can silence all the chaos, like I said, all the distractions, and just all the energy that's always constantly bombarding us. Okay? Take time just to sit, breathe. All right? Especially go in nature, go where there ain't nobody else around. No cars, no anything. If you can. You see what I'm saying? And experience you. Okay, if you live in the inner city, maybe take a weekly trip. Anytime that you have off from work, go to a park. Take a little drive to where you get outside of the city, to where you can just hear yourself more, hear your thoughts, and meditate. Okay, take your shoes off, plant your feet in the ground, stretch, do breath work. Okay? Listen, if you want a better path, if you want to achieve higher elevation, and if you just want an overall better, healthy lifestyle, physically, mentally, and spiritually, you're going to have to do the work, put in the work. All right? We're going to have two more. 6. Inconsistency. I know we all struggle with this at some point in our lives. We all. We all struggle with this. Inconsistency is one of our biggest hindrance when it comes to our growth, whether spiritually, mentally, or physically. Is inconsistency. We all want to do good, but it's the inconsistency that hinders the growth. Okay, people think it's going to happen overnight. You know what I mean? Like I said, when you put in the work, it's going to be you know what I mean? Even when you don't want to do something, we still got to do it. We still got to put in the work. Okay? Because if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the thing you sacrifice. All right? Persistence is key in manifestations. Playing a type of tug of war with your mind and progress. Okay? Routines. That's why they say routines, a schedule, a plan is good to set in place. So that way you don't have to think too much. You already know what to do next. Okay? Because when you have to sit there and think, that's when you may become inconsistent in your work. Okay? Routines are great for starting or breaking habits, psychologically altering our mindsets. Stay committed no matter what, even when it's hard, right? Excellence is a habit, something we must consciously choose each and every day. We are not perfect, so don't beat yourself up if you fall short, okay? Keep moving is the key. Like I mentioned earlier, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But no matter what, you keep moving. No matter what stage you're in, you keep moving. Because there's some people that are just crawling, okay? And the next thing they know, they running. You see what I'm saying? You can skip. You can skip some steps. But as long as you keep moving, all right, in that the positive direction that you want to move in your life, then you're always going to feel some form of achievement. Even if it wasn't you wanted to run today. But today it was just, oh man, I'm just going to, you crawled along. Listen, you're further than what you were yesterday, right? You still crawl. You may not be as far along that journey or that road, but at least you ain't just laying there in the road, just letting life happen, just letting whatever just pass you by. At least you still moving. So just remember that even if you got to crawl, still have faith in that you're still moving. All right, don't beat yourself up about that. Don't beat yourself up about it. All right, just stay moving. Just stay moving. All right, last one. Make that more legible. Fear of failure, which a lot of times, like I said, you're thinking too far into the future and you're allowing your present to hinder you from making this journey, okay? Henry Ford said, that was Henry Ford. I said this quote earlier and that was Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Yeah, I said that earlier. Failure can start in your mind first, hence why it may manifest into reality, okay? Even if you think you can and things don't go right, you still believe that you can, and eventually it will happen. Just because it may not play out in the timing that you want it to, does not mean that it will not come. There's a time and place for everything. All right? Failure can start in your mind first, hence why you may manifest it into reality. You may say, I want this, I want that, but really, you may not really feel like you're going to get it. So that's why you may not never get it, okay? Failure is nothing but perspective, okay? Because what you call failing, what somebody else calls failing, can be two totally different things. Like for me, I never consider a loss a loss. It's a lesson. A loss isn't a loss for me. It's a lesson. I'm going to learn a lesson out of that. I don't look at that as a loss. It's a lesson. So it's all but perspective, okay? If you lose something in your life, or if you fail at something, and if you look at yourself, oh, I'm a failure, I lost this, and beat yourself up, you're going to carry that energy over. But if you could go through what we call failures, you could go through what we call losses and turn them into lessons, it's only going to produce more wins in your life. That's all. Listen, I ain't no loser. I ain't no loser. Even when I do fail or come up short or lose, I ain't no loser. You see what I'm saying? I ain't never no loser. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. That's all that is. That's all that is. I ain't never no loser. Just learn a lesson. All right? Courage is not the absence of fear, but the conscious decision and effort to push forward. So I'm sure a lot of people heard about this. Courage doesn't mean that you're not afraid. Courage doesn't mean that you're not fearing what's right in front of you. Okay? If you're not afraid or you don't fear nothing, you might be crazy. You know what I'm saying? You might be crazy. You see what I'm saying? Fear is actually a healthy emotion if you're able to push past it. If you're able to push past it, okay? Fear keeps us protected. You see what I'm saying? I know if I put my hand over this, whatever, and don't get me wrong, hot and cold is only now but a construct also of this matrix. That's a whole nother thing. But fear will keep you protected in some cases. I'm not gonna go and try to put myself in danger. You see what I'm saying? But if danger come to my doorstep, I'm not gonna be scared. I'm gonna have courage. I'm not gonna let fear dictate my actions. Okay? Don't get me wrong. Like I said, like you're not gonna go out and be like, oh, ain't nothing can kill me. Ain't nothing. I mean, don't get me. Yeah. We don't die, but our avatar could be ceased in existing in this realm. You see what I'm saying? So we can't be acting crazy, you know, when we trying to achieve things in life. There are certain things that you got to stop doing. See what I'm saying? Like if you was in the streets, for instance, and now you got a business and this and that, you're not fearing those guys in the street, but you just know, like, I'm gonna avoid them. I'm not gonna cause no conflict because I got something better going on. I got enough courage to do that. You see what I'm saying? It could be anything, really. All right, but just know that fear does not make you weak. Fear does not make you weak. What makes you weak is when you fall in place into that fear and don't allow that fear to move you forward. Okay? Courage is not the absence of fear, but knowing you may feel that emotion and still push forward. Okay? That's fear and courage and bravery. You can't have that without fear. If you don't fear something, You're not brave to move past it or push past it. You don't. It's not bravery. You're just crazy. I wouldn't even say crazy, but it maybe not be a fear. It maybe not be a fear then. If you're able to just be like, oh, whatever. But if it's something that's like, making you feel a little type of way, and you still go through it, that's bravery. That's courage. Doing something that you don't want to do, but you still do it to get the job done. All right? It may startle your spirit, but you got to go through it. All right? It's like gold going through the fire. All right? And we're gold. We may not want to go through the fire. Fire may present itself to us. We may have a little bit of fear over it. But we know that if we go through it, it's going to make us a whole better person. So I'd rather go through the fire, get burnt, come out with scars or with all that. And eventually that fire is going to make me pure. You see what I'm saying? Make me high value. All right? So the more we face our fears, the easier to fight to get through them. Okay, if you don't face your fears, you won't ever develop mental capacity, emotional capacity, or maybe even physical capacity to get through them. Okay, we got to practice working on our fears so that way fear can never hold us down. Because fear is low vibration. Fear is definitely a low vibrational entity. All right. So trust the process. Things may not turn out the way you want, but if you put in the effort, you'll get exactly what you need for growth. If you put in the effort, you'll get exactly what you need. It may not be what you want, but you will always get exactly what you need for the good energy that you're putting out in life, all right? Manifestation can be a powerful tool in your life. Work your faith and have faith in your works. All right? Work your faith and have faith in the work that you're giving out, okay? Make conscious decisions every day towards the future that you want. So let's just review these 7 concepts that I've written. Negative habits and how to get through. Number 1, negative thinking. Change your thinking pattern. 2, lack of gratitude. Have gratitude every day in every situation that you come through in life. 3, living in the past. Remember, use your past as a guide for your future, but do not stay stuck in the past. You learn your lessons, keep moving forward. Number 4, lack of clarity, meaning you got a lot of brain fog. You have a lot of confusion. You have a lot of different voices or energies or frequencies bombarding you, and you don't know what you want to do in life. Get to learn what meditation is, getting out into nature, becoming your God body self, get more physical as far as like exercising. If you gotta partake in fasting, fasting is another great thing to become more of who you are as a God being, and also to start breaking down the programs that's been implemented on in your life. All right. Number 5, ignoring intuition. Trust your gut feeling. It's better to be safe than sorry. Okay? If you feel like something isn't right, if you feel like whatever environment you're in isn't conducive to your growth, make the change. Make the change. If you're in a club, you're out with your friends, and you feel like, oh, something changed, something ain't right, and we gotta leave, listen. Tell your homies, tell your girlfriends, tell your squad, yo, we gotta bounce. You know what I'm saying? So trust your instincts. They may not understand, but just trust it. All right, just trust it. Inconsistency, okay? Staying consistent is very important to the daily growth and moving forward in life. You know, a lot of us are inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? And we have these moments where we're stagnant or procrastination comes into play. But just make sure that even when you don't want to do it and you don't want to feel like fasting, you don't want to feel like, excuse me, uh, working out, you don't want to feel like meditating, you don't want to feel like doing some reading or going out into nature. Always push yourself, okay? Always push yourself because you're only going to break the programs more and more. Last but not least, fear of failure. Remember, there's no such thing as failures. There's no such thing as losses. The only thing that we have in this life are lessons, okay? And it's up to us to recognize those lessons and to do better next time. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel bad about it. But just make sure that you use it as a lesson so that way the future that you want for yourself can come into fruition, okay? So I hope this was pretty clear for everybody. Always remember, you a god, you a goddess, all right? Keep your head up when you walk into a room. You keep your head up. That doesn't mean that you're stuck up, that you think you're better than somebody. It's just like, no, I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm comfortable with the energy that I bring into this world, and I'm not going to allow anybody in this room to make me feel less than. All right? So keep your head up. Always remember who you are. All right? It's Klassik King. Deuces.